Alrighty, it was that time of the week. Time for a new book report. Always mess it up. Book review. Today is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. This is a very commonly recommended book, and it's kind of silly because the name is terrible, right? It's like, really, it sounds so cheesy. When was this book was first published in copyright 1936, so the title feels appropriately dated. Like we've as a society we've caught on to this sort of marketing speak. But yeah, this book is very commonly recommended in any self-improvement spaces. This is kind of like the go-to charisma book, how to get along with people, how to not be socially awkward, how not to be the social butterfly book. And it's great. There's a reason why everybody recommends it, and of course I will recommend it here. So if anybody if anybody just wants to jet out now, get the book. It's nice. I got the 80th anniversary edition on Amazon in hardback, and it's a nice book. I haven't actually read this version. The last time I read this book, I was still experimenting with ebooks. So I got a Kindle version of this book, and I've since learned that I do not prefer electronic books. So I went back to my favorite form factor, which is hardcover, and I went ahead and reordered this one because I wanted it for my collection. I plan on this is a book that you kind of, well, at least I plan on rereading from time to time, because it has little tips and things that just need to be reminded of now and again. It's not gonna improve things overnight, but it's just something to always kind of have in your back of your mind. It's a good book. It goes over getting along with people, and how to criticize or bring up problems with other people without making them be offended, and stuff like that. Some of this stuff is kind of moved into kind of common parlance, but this was 1936 when this thing came out, so it was kind of early on, and at least this is the earliest book that in this space that I know of. Not that I spend a whole lot of time in the charisma whatever space, but I do like it. It has these little principles and stuff that are outlined in the book. So this is something that's especially nonfiction books. I love getting to the end of the chapter, and then there's a summary of what, a bullet point summary of what was covered in the book. So you can go, even if it helps retention as you're reading, and also whenever you go back and flipping through the book, you can go, oh yeah, I remember this, and it's just so this has this little, in a nutshell, fundamental techniques for handling people. I don't know what is going on with this webcam today. It is overexposing, and slightly off of focus and having trouble. But yeah, it has these little summaries at the end of the book, and it's an easy read. It's not difficult to read. It is written to be very approachable. I don't think even from 1936. I don't think there's anything that's seen too particularly dated. I think maybe some of the cultural references were a little dated that I didn't really know at the time of what was going on. But it's been probably a year, 2 years since I read this book. So here's one of those little summary pages where you can see. Yeah. So this is, you have like the like begin with praise and honor of appreciation, and I think this is like where you get the what is it, the criticism, the criticism sandwich or whatever it's called, is where you compliment somebody, then you tell them what they need to improve, what they did wrong, and then you compliment them again. You know, I think that's kind of where this come from, or maybe this was where it was popularized. Was in this book. I'm not sure. I could just be blowing smoke up. Yeah. But let's just do the article. Dale Carnegie was born in 1888 in Missouri. Educated at State Teachers College in Warrensburg. As a salesman, aspiring actor, he traveled to New York and began teaching communication classes to adults at YMCA in 1912. The world-famous Dale Carnegie course was born. Dale Carnegie inspired millions of radio since blah 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 blah. I love reading like these old biographies, like from like before the 50s. Person, it almost invariably goes, person X went to just some random school or whatever, or they just happened to go to Yale, and then everything worked out from there. Like just getting into college was like, you were guaranteed, you know, if you got into college and you completed college, it was like everything was it's smooth sailing. Like you met all these interesting people, and it was a smaller world back then, you know. It seems like from reading this stuff, you know, like, oh yeah, I went to college. Oh yeah, but they happened to be this world expert. My teacher happened to be this world expert on this blah 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 blah. And what was I reading? I'm reading this book. I don't want to spoil it because it's gonna be a big book review. But I'm reading this book by this psychologist about basically human biases and the way people think, and he's going through and talking about you know, all of his experiences, and and then I met with this person and blah blah blah, and I think we got about halfway through the book or whatever, and he was always talking about working with like the Israeli defense forces, and you get about halfway through the book, you know, I'm like, how did he just get in like as a bigwig in the Israeli? Because he's like an undergraduate, right? When he's talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, how did he get such a prominent position? And we get about halfway through the book, and it was like, well, you got to remember at the time the Israel had only existed for like 6 years or something, and so me being a BA in psychology was like high credentials, you know. So like the bar was so much lower back then, you know. And everybody's like, just, you know, talking about how things are going nowadays, people having a hard time getting a job with a college degree, whereas, you know, back then it was just a ticket to the world, you know. just a little bit of social commentary thrown in there to my book review for How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Good book. Highly recommend it. I just realized they're still asking $28 for this book. 1936. They still want $28. Apparently I paid it. Maybe I got it on sale. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the cost of books. Yep. So yeah, highly recommend it. Get it today. Well, we'll move on to. I got 2 more coming up, which you'll probably see spread out over the next couple of weeks. But yep, I'll see you in the next one. Bye. If I can find the stop recording, Corey.